It is foreign guest number 550.
That's a lot of foreign guests.
Yeah, like half of Counterpick is foreign today. Anyway, we're getting into game one of Ramses versus Moussa. That
Moussa.
explains why I haven't, figured out who it was when I saw his face. Because this is the first time I'm seeing Moussa play.
Same.
And I think this is the guy who founded the Starfighters.
Could very well be.
From the Germans.
I'm hearing this for the first time. Anyway, Moussa already having a pretty decent lead right there, getting that early advantage state in against Ramses. Ramses trying to find his neutral, but Moussa just getting out of that situation right there. And right now we see that he racks up a lot of damage just out of these sheer combos that he's able to convert. The side B, Corrin's insta is such a good move. Just because of that one thing, it's so good. Imagine if Corrin didn't have insta-pin.
She'd have nothing, man. She'll just have these two bare feet and no run speed.
She is slower than so many characters.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you got burst range like that. Just like you said before, Ramses is on the back foot though, but this is a download kind of player.
Yeah,
so
he is.
He will do better probably as the set progresses.
Yeah.
Especially seeing as most Bayo, not saying they can't adapt or anything, but they're usually more the execution-based players.
Yeah, well, Bayonetta in general is one of these characters that just gets a lot of out of her advantage state. So if you're able to just convert everything, and if you have the tech skill to do so, that's important. Because if you want to win and you want to do well, you want to be able to do all the things that you want to do.
Especially as the meta has been switching more and more towards getting the maximum out of every advantage stage you get. And Bayonetta is perfect for that, and we see it on the screen as Moussa has been doing quite well for himself this game. Avoids the killing blow with the bat within. I've seen multiple lifesavers with the bat within on stream today.
Yep, bat within is such a good mechanic because it allows Bayonetta to dodge on the first frame.
Well, I won't say it's a good mechanic, but it's a powerful mechanic for Bayo.
It's a very strong mechanic. I mean, yeah, that makes it good for her, I guess.
Yeah, good for her, not good for the game.
People don't like it, but Bayo players certainly do. Gets the Nair and the Gimp as well.
Yeah,
recovery
that was the perfect drop-in angle for Moussa because those wings are giant, but if you drop right in the middle, you should be able to get yourself a trade at least.
Yeah, exactly. And if you come from above, you have this window where you can just hit Corrin out for a B, which allows you to Gimp.
Okay, wow, excellent catch with the back air, disjointed Dragon Wings. Whew. Getting even a fast move like that dive kick that Bayonetta just used.
I don't think he wanted to get that neutral B right there. I think that might have been a misinput, and that probably was a side B or something.
Fortunately for Bayonetta, she has fantastic hitboxes on the recovery and got back without too much trouble.
Yep, gets the dive kick on Ramses' shield. Safe pressure right there, and Moussa still having a really good lead. Gets all these combos going and all this momentum, builds up a lot of damage. The backer tries to get him with the Dragon Fang shot, but
there it is, wait stam for free on the Dragon Ascent.
Has to wait, but has to wait for a bit too long to actually confirm that into anything.
Oh, there it is.
Hints the pin.
For big damage.
Yeah, big. Even so, it's like, he's like at 30, and I'm still like, maybe he'll die because insta pin is pretty ridiculous.
And Bayonetta is pretty light, and Smashville is pretty tight on the sides.
Yep. And this pressure on Ramses landing, he's
Yeah.
able to get through with the down air, but
Ramses just can't get enough damage because usually he gets a lot out of his juggle game and things like that. But Bayonetta, she just has the best disadvantage state in the game.
like
So
honestly,
it's really hard to get your full potential.
it's a very strong disadvantage. Same goes for Corrin, a very strong advantage in general. But what you don't want to do in general is arrows against Corrin, because Corrin is one of these characters that gets Dragon Fang shot reach or insta-pins out of that. So
What I first do when I play a Corrin, I check if it's the kind of player that will go for Dragon Fang shot, because there are quite a lot of Corrins who actually just don't use it.
Yeah, exactly. In the air, just to reach those arrow dodges. And honestly, Corrin's mobility, the forward throw will not do it. But Corrin's mobility in the air got that Nair, but
Yeah, excellent stuff. There's the down air, first time I've seen it today.
ooh, the force smash. So much range.
There it is, that
Kick,
should be a
that's
kill.
it.
Nowhere to go for Moussa. He had the right DI, as you saw. The blessed pillar coming from diagonally from the top.
Yeah.
When you see it come diagonally, you know there's nothing he could have done.
No, and the thing that makes it interesting is the fact that Ramses was actually applying a lot of pressure with that trap, actually, because it's scary to get grabbed by Corrin, right? So he was in the corner trying to get out, and yeah, Ramses just got the insta-pin out of that. A lot of pressure right there, and that netted him the kill.
And the thing is, you can avoid it by retreating to the ledge, but Corrin also has kind of a scary ledge trap game.
Yeah.
I won't say trap game, but at least ledge getter punishes.
Her ledge game is so good.
It's good. It's really good. I don't know if I'd call them traps, but they're like her coverage is really good. And her power.
Her ledge coverage, I guess you can see it as traps, but her ledge coverage is really, really good. It's like top 5, at least top 10 in the game.
You gotta have patience though. Fortunately, Ramses has patience in spades.
Oh yeah.
As we find ourselves on Dreamland, and I doubt that Ramses minds, as he does counterpick this stage himself quite a bit actually.
This is one of those stages that's really good for both characters, because both Bayonetta and Corrin actually really like platforms around them. And I'd imagine that Ramses banned Duck Hunt and Lilac, because those are Bayonetta's best stages in most of the matchups. So Dreamland it is.
I guess so, and I can definitely also see Dreamland over Battlefield, because as a Bayonetta you avoid the extra high ceiling. Speaking of avoiding, there's no avoiding anything coming out of this witch time, because you are stuck in slow-mo. Yep. And look at this damage. Ramses was doing amazing. And he still is! He still is! He breaks out of there with a Dragon Fang of all moves!
And that was an arrow into the ground, punishing that with a Dragon Fang shot. Tries to get the Witch Down on the pin, but Ramses is slightly misspacing that, not getting Witch Down for it.
So what is going wrong for Moussa right now? He started off game 1 fantastically, still lost, but he started off really good. And now look what's going on.
The thing against Corrin is one of these characters that's really good against anti-approach in general, in my opinion. Because she counters running in, and basically has a lot of tools to deal with a lot of character approaches. Yeah,
so now Ramses has had time and has a lead, so he can avoid.
Witch time, that's it.
Yeah, of course, you know, if you get witch time with those percents, you're just gonna get carried up for that extra height and then up smash. But yeah, now that Ramses has had quite a bit to play versus Moussa, you know, the gears start turning and he is in the lead by quite a bit. It's gonna be pretty difficult for Moussa.
Yeah, generally what I know about Ramses is that he's one of these players that adapts mostly on his anti-approach game. I think that's one of his best traits as a player, is his anti-approach. And a character like Corrin, who actually gets a lot of anti-approaching, that's the upper on the platform.
Excellent bait on the witch stab. And Moussa is out, or at least out of win.